Over the past few months, a wave of job cuts has swept across some of the world's biggest and most powerful companies. What began as isolated restructuring announcements has now turned into a full-blown corporate trend. From tech giants to retail chains, the same phrase echoes across boardrooms: efficiency, AI, and cost-cutting. At the center of it all stands Amazon. The e-commerce titan recently announced that it will be laying off around 14,000 corporate employees as part of a massive restructuring effort to prepare for the AI era. This marks one of the largest rounds of layoffs in the company's history and underscores a growing shift in how major corporations are redefining the future of work. In a blog post, Amazon stated that the layoffs are being implemented to make the company leaner and less bureaucratic, while allowing it to invest in what it calls its biggest bets, particularly generative artificial intelligence. The post includes this direct statement: "This generation of AI is the most transformative technology we've seen since the internet, and it's enabling companies to innovate much faster than ever before, in existing market segments and altogether new ones." Beth Galetti, Senior Vice President of People Experience and Technology at Amazon, wrote, "We're convinced that we need to be organized more leanly with fewer layers and more ownership to move as quickly as possible for our customers and businesses." These are not small words. They reflect a fundamental transformation in how companies like Amazon view their operations. The goal is not simply to cut costs, but to restructure the entire organization around emerging technologies. CNBC reports that these layoffs are expected to ultimately be the largest corporate job cuts in Amazon's history. The reasoning behind these moves is becoming clear. Amazon, like many others, is betting big on artificial intelligence. As companies race to integrate generative AI into every aspect of their business, from logistics and supply chain optimization to customer service and content creation, the need for traditional corporate roles is shrinking. The overall message from Amazon reflected a familiar impulse in corporate America to reduce headcount in the face of rising prices, an unpredictable trade war, and a potential, though still largely speculative, artificial intelligence revolution. Amazon isn't alone. UPS on Tuesday announced that it had cut some 48,000 workers this year. Target eliminated 1,800 corporate jobs last week to be stronger, faster, and better positioned for the future, its new CEO said. And other spectacularly profitable tech players like Microsoft and Meta have also shed staff by the thousands recently. It's not just Amazon. Across industries, the same story repeats itself. From Nike to Starbucks, from Meta to Microsoft, from UPS to Oracle, 2025 has become a year defined by workforce reduction. Companies that once prided themselves on expansion are now talking about consolidation, efficiency, and automation. Here's what we know so far. Amazon cutting approximately 14,000 corporate roles as part of a multi-year streamlining effort focused on AI. UPS announced it had cut around 48,000 workers in 2025 as part of an effort to reduce costs and prepare for automation in logistics. Target eliminated 1,800 corporate jobs to be stronger, faster, and better positioned for the future. Meta, continuing with what CEO Mark Zuckerberg previously called the year of efficiency, the company has been trimming staff and flattening management structures to free up resources for AI development. Microsoft reduced thousands of jobs, many in departments unrelated to its growing AI divisions. Nike and Starbucks both have begun smaller but notable rounds of cuts as they digitize their retail and customer experience operations. The list goes on, and it's growing. According to recent business reports, layoffs and other workforce reductions have continued through 2025, following 2 years of massive job cuts across tech, media, finance, manufacturing, retail, and energy. While the industries may differ, the root causes remain similar: automation, AI transformation, and rising costs in a volatile global economy. A World Economic Forum survey recently found that 41% of companies worldwide expect to reduce their workforces over the next 5 years because of the rise of artificial intelligence. In other words, nearly half of all companies anticipate that AI will replace some portion of their human labor. This isn't just a technology trend, it's reshaping the modern workforce. Artificial intelligence is not new, but what's happening now feels different. The rapid rise of generative AI, tools capable of writing, designing, coding, analyzing, and even reasoning, have taken the business world by storm. Corporations are racing to adapt before they fall behind. Amazon's internal memo reveals that the company views AI as the single most transformative technology since the internet. That statement alone shows how serious this shift is. The internet changed everything about how we communicate, shop, and work. Now, AI promises to do the same, only faster. In practice, this means replacing thousands of administrative and technical positions with automated systems. Customer service centers are being augmented with AI chatbots, content teams are using generative tools to produce marketing material, supply chains are being managed by predictive algorithms. Even roles that once required human judgment, like financial analysis or hiring decisions, are now being influenced by machine learning. The implications are enormous. Entire departments that were once considered essential are now being consolidated or eliminated. The result, a global wave of layoffs. Companies such as Oracle, CNN, Dropbox, and Block have all announced job cuts directly tied to AI adoption. These companies are restructuring their business models to capitalize on new technologies, often at the expense of their human workforce. In October, Amazon joined its peers in citing the rapid pace of technological change as the reason for its layoffs. The company is aggressively expanding its use of generative AI and digital agents, programs that can automate tasks once handled by entire teams. To understand what's happening, we need to look beyond individual companies. Across industries and continents, the same logic is at play. Cut costs, boost profits, and prepare for an AI-driven future. The World Economic Forum estimates that AI and automation will create about 97 million new jobs worldwide by 2030, but it will also displace about 85 million. That means a net gain, but with a massive human cost in the short term. Many of those losing jobs today are unlikely to transition easily into the new roles being created. This transition isn't just technological, it's social. We're witnessing the emergence of a two-tier labour market. Those who design, program, and manage AI systems, and those whose work is replaced by them. In manufacturing, robots are taking over assembly lines. In logistics, autonomous vehicles and drones are reducing the need for human delivery drivers. In media, AI tools are writing news summaries and generating images. Even in finance and law, algorithms are analysing contracts and market trends faster and more accurately than any human could. The message from corporate leaders is consistent. This is not about crisis, this is about evolution. They argue that becoming leaner and more technologically advanced will make their companies stronger in the long run. Yet for the millions of workers who find themselves suddenly unemployed, that's little comfort. Behind the headlines about efficiency and innovation lie real people. Families facing uncertainty, workers forced to pivot careers, and entire communities dependent on industries that are shrinking. For many, the new AI economy feels less like progress and more like displacement. The US and Europe are both experiencing a paradox: record high corporate profits combined with widespread job insecurity. As companies announce multi-billion-dollar investments in AI, they simultaneously slash thousands of jobs. The optics are difficult to ignore. UPS, for example, is cutting tens of thousands of positions while increasing automation in its warehouses. Target's restructuring aims to become more future-ready, but it leaves nearly 2,000 corporate employees without jobs. Microsoft and Meta, both with soaring AI investments, continue to reduce human headcount. The shift is creating growing concern among economists. The fear is not just about short-term layoffs, but about long-term rebalancing of power, where capital and technology increasingly replace labour. Some experts argue that we're witnessing the early stages of an AI-induced productivity revolution similar to the Industrial Revolution, but without the same safeguards or pace of retraining. During the Industrial Revolution, new industries emerged to absorb displaced workers. The question now is, will AI do the same? AI is reshaping not just how we work, but who benefits from that work. High-skilled professionals in tech, data science, and AI development are seeing their value rise. Meanwhile, mid-level managers, administrative staff, and even creative professionals are finding their roles vulnerable to automation. According to Goldman Sachs, AI could impact up to 300 million full-time jobs globally. Some positions will disappear entirely, others will transform beyond recognition. For instance, marketing teams may shrink as AI tools handle data analytics and campaign design. Customer service roles may fade as companies adopt digital agents capable of resolving complex issues. At the same time, new jobs will appear, but they will require new skills. Data labeling, prompt engineering, AI system training, and oversight will become critical industries. Yet those roles demand education and technical literacy that many workers simply don't have. This is why retraining programs, educational reform, and digital literacy initiatives are becoming urgent priorities. Without them, millions of workers risk being permanently excluded from the new economy. When we examine Amazon's internal restructuring, a pattern emerges that mirrors many other corporations. Flatten management, remove redundancy, automate routine tasks, and shift resources toward high-tech innovation. Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft are no longer expanding simply for growth's sake. They're optimizing for agility and innovation. This means cutting middle management and consolidating overlapping teams. The traditional model of bigger is better is being replaced by leaner is faster. Beth Gilletti's statement captures the mindset perfectly. Fewer layers, more ownership, faster movement. These are the guiding principles of the modern AI-era corporation, but they also mark the end of the traditional corporate job ladder, the idea that employees can slowly rise through the ranks over the decades. In an age of automation, the ladder is being replaced by a revolving door. If the trends continue, we could be entering a new phase of the global economy, one where efficiency, speed, and automation dominate every decision. Companies will increasingly measure success not by how many people they employ, but how much output they can generate per employee or per algorithm. The challenge for governments, educators, and society at large is how to keep pace. How do we prepare the next generation for jobs that don't yet exist? How do we retrain millions whose careers are being disrupted today? And how do we ensure that AI-driven productivity gains benefit everyone, not just shareholders and executives? As the layoffs continue, it's clear that the future of work is already here. Amazon, UPS, Target, Meta, and Microsoft may be leading the charge, but they are only the beginning. The AI revolution is not coming, it's arrived, and it comes with both promise and peril. The decisions being made in corporate offices today will determine not only how companies operate, but how society itself adapts to the greatest technological transformation since the internet. One thing is certain, the world of work will never be the same again.